Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we are going to learn how to create and send FlexiSign document on Google Form submission. So I own a real estate agency and I want to send proposals to the clients who are interested in buying or renting the properties. And for that, I have already created a Google form. So I want that as soon as a person is going to submit the form, then I want to send a proposal for e-signature to that same client, which I am using with the help of FlexiSign. So how we are going to automate this entire process? For this, we will have to set up a connection between Google Forms and FlexiSign, and that we are going to do without the requirement of any coding and programming skills, simply with the help of Pabbly Connect. So if you also want to learn this amazing automation step by step, for that you have to come towards my screen. Welcome to my screen everyone. So in this video we are going to learn step by step that how we can automatically send FlexiSign document for e-signature to our clients whenever the client is going to submit the form in Google Forms. So I run a real estate agency and I need to send property proposals to potential clients who express interest in buying or renting the properties. To streamline this process, I want to automate the creation and delivery of these proposals based on the information clients provide in the Google Form. So I've already created a form with the help of Google Forms for taking the client information, and as soon as the client who will be interested in purchasing or renting the properties of my real estate agency, then I want to send the proposal to that same client for electronic signature. So for creating and sending this proposal, I am using FlexiSign, which is going to help me for creating the documents and the proposals which I want to send for e-signatures with the help of templates. So by using FlexiSign, you can create multiple documents which you can send easily to your clients for the request of the signatures. And here we have multiple templates by using which you can create these documents. Now, I want to set up a simple connection between my Google Forms and FlexiSign in such a way that when a client who is interested in the property is going to submit this form, then immediately and automatically the proposal for the signature will be sent to that same client on their email with the help of FlexiSign. So to build this connection, I'm going to use Pabbly Connect, which is going to help me to automate this entire process by setting up the connection between my applications without any coding or programming skills. So quickly, let's get started. We are on the homepage of Pabbly Connect, where we can reach by typing the URL pabbly.com/connect in our browser. After coming over here, you will find two options: sign in and sign up for free. So in case if you are already an existing user, you can just click on sign in to log into your account. But if you are a new user, you have to click on the sign up for free button to create your free new account. Also, when you will do that, you will get 100 free tasks every month to explore this amazing software and to test your automations. Now, I'm going to click on sign in because I'm already an existing user. This is all app section where we can find all the products which are offered by Pabbly. To create our automation, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. So let's quickly click on access now. And it has taken us towards the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. So on this dashboard, you will be able to find all your workflows which you have created. And you can also create different folders on the same dashboard to save your workflows separately in different folders. To create a new workflow, we are going to click on this create workflow option. So let's do that. Here a dialog boxes appear in front of us. So what we will do, we will first of all give a name to our workflow. So I'm going to give a name. Automatically create and send FlexiSign document on Google Form submission. After giving the name to my workflow, here I'm going to select the folder. So here I have multiple folders, as you can see. I'm going to select automations for task management folder, and I will simply click on create. As we have done that, you can see a new screen is open in front of us. So it contains two important windows, trigger and actions. Now what are trigger and actions? Trigger and actions are the two main concepts, the principles, or we can say these are the building blocks on which the entire automation works. The trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. That means the action is the response towards our trigger. So whatever we are going to select in our trigger is going to command the entire workflow, and the actions are going to follow that same command. Therefore, we can have only one trigger in any workflow, but we can add as many action steps as we want. Now let's suppose here my objective is that whenever a client is going to submit the Google form with their information, then by using that information, I want to send the proposal for the e-signature request to that same client. So here I'm going to take Google Forms in my trigger and FlexiSign in action. When we are going to set up the connection between these two applications, we can clearly see that action is going to follow what the trigger commands, because when the trigger happens, that means when the form is submitted by the client in Google Forms, then only the document will be sent to that client through FlexiSign, otherwise not. So after understanding the whole concept of trigger and action, let us quickly start creating the workflow step by step. To start the workflow, first of all, we need to go towards our trigger step and we have to select our trigger application. So over here, our trigger application will be Google Forms. Let's quickly select that. Then we have to select the trigger event. So our trigger event will be new response received. Trigger event is the event on the happening of which the workflow is going to trigger or it is going to start. Okay, so new response received will be our trigger event. As we have done that, here we have received a webhook URL and also we have received some instructions. So when we are going to insert the webhook URL inside of a form, the connection will be built because it is going to act as a bridge to transfer the data of new response from Google Forms towards Pabbly Connect. And in order to insert this webhook URL and to connect our Google Forms with Pabbly Connect for capturing the response, we have to follow the instructions given over here. So I will tell you exactly what you are supposed to do. First of all, let's copy the webhook URL and then I'm going to take you towards the form. So this is the form which I have created, client information and document request form. Please fill out the form below to provide your details and receive your document for signature. It contains fields such as name, email address, phone number, address of the client, the person, whether the client is agreeing to receive the document via email for electronic signature or no. So now we have to set up the connection between this form and Pabbly Connect. For that, we have to go towards the response section and here you will see the option of view in sheets. When you will click on this button, it is going to take you towards a Google Sheet which is linked towards your form. So when the response will be captured, when a client is going to submit the form, the response of that form will be captured inside this particular spreadsheet. Okay, it contains all the same fields, it contains all the same columns as we have the fields in our form: name of the client, email, phone number, address and the question. Over here we also have an extra column that is of timestamp, that means the date and time at which the form is submitted. Now because I have already linked my Google Sheets. Because I have already linked my form with Google Sheets earlier, so the spreadsheet is open, which is existing already. But if you are connecting for the first time, then once you will go towards the response section and you will click on this view in sheet option in your Google form, you will see two options over there: create a new spreadsheet or use existing. So you have to click on create a new spreadsheet over there. Okay, now first of all we need to capture the response inside our Google Sheets in order to send the response towards Pabbly Connect. So once we will capture the response over here, we will be setting up the connection between this Google Sheets and Pabbly Connect, so that whenever the form will be submitted, the response will be recorded over here and then the response will be sent towards Pabbly Connect. So now in order to do that, first of all, let's record the data over here in our spreadsheet. So I will go towards my form, I will go towards the send section. This we have the link of the form, I will shorten it and I will copy the form link. Then I will open it in a new tab. The form is open in front of us, so I will quickly submit this form to capture the response. Let's say the name of the client who is submitting the form is dummy person. Let's say the email of the client is dummyperson@pabblytudes.com. Here I am going to enter a phone number, a random street, and here I am going to select yes. Do you agree to receive the document via email for electronic signature? Now let's submit the form. And over here we can see that the response is captured. So here we have the timestamp. That means the date and time at which the form is received. Here we have the name of the person. Here we have the email address, phone number, the same address which we have entered, and here we have the answer as yes. Now after receiving this response, we will set up the connection between this Google Sheets and Pabbly Connect. For that we have to go towards our extension option from the top, and here we will see the option of add-ons. When we'll click on get add-ons, it is going to take you towards Google Workspace Marketplace. Here you need to search for Pabbly Connect Webhooks. This is basically the add-on and extension which you need to install in Google Sheets in order to set up the connection between Pabbly Connect and Google Sheets. Okay, so you can see I've already installed the Pabbly Connect Webhook add-ons, and here I will simply click on cross. Once you install the add-on for the very first time, you also need to refresh your spreadsheet so that you will be able to find the option of Pabbly Connect Webhooks under extensions. As we can see the option, we have to go towards initial setup. Basically, we need to perform an initial setup for setting up the connection between Google Sheets and Pabbly Connect. Now, to build this connection, here we have to enter the webhook URL and here we have to enter the trigger column. So first of all, I will go back towards Pabbly Connect. We will once again copy the webhook URL and we will paste it over here in the webhook URL field. Then the next is the trigger column. Now what is trigger column? The concept of trigger column says that whenever in our spreadsheet a new row will be recorded and the data will be recorded up till this column in a new row, then the response will be immediately sent towards Pabbly Connect. In my scenario, when the form will be submitted by a client, the data will be recorded in a new row in my spreadsheet. So the fields I have is up till F. So I want that only when the details of the client will be recorded over here in my spreadsheet and the data will be entered up till F column, then only I want to transfer the data towards Pabbly Connect, otherwise not. So in that case, here my trigger column will become F. So I will simply enter F over here. Then we will click on send test to send the test response, and here the test data is sent successfully. So I will simply submit the initial setup. We'll cross this and move back towards Pabbly Connect. Over here, you can see that we have already received the response. So as soon as we've set up the connection between Google Sheets and Pabbly Connect, the response is captured. This means that our connection is successful. So here in the response, you can see we have received trigger column. Okay, we have the timestamp. Here we have the name of the spreadsheet. Here we have the spreadsheet ID, the name of the sheet. Here we have the sheet ID, row index, that means the number of row in which we have the data. Okay, here we have the phone number, name of the person, email address, and the answer response is yes. Along with this, we have also received the address. So the connection is successful. But now because we want that whenever the client is going to submit the form and the response will be recorded in Google Sheets, then automatically the data must be keep on sending towards Pabbly Connect. For that, we have to go towards extensions, Pabbly Connect webhooks, and we have to simply click on send on event button. As we have done that, we have made sure that now the data will be keep on sending towards Pabbly Connect. Okay, now we'll move forward. I want that only when the client is going to submit yes in the response, then I want to send them the document, otherwise not. If the client is submitting the form with no as a response, then I do not want to send the document to that client. So in that case, how we are going to apply this condition? For that, we have to use filter in our workflow. So we will move forward towards our action step and we will select filter as our action application. Filter is an amazing feature which helps us to filter out the conditions. We will be able to apply the conditions in our workflow according to our requirements, and on basis of that conditions only the workflow is going to work. So here our action event will be filter values. We'll click on connect, and here we have received a label, a filter type, and value. So first of all, we have to select the label. So I want to select the label from my previous response. This is my previous response, as you can see, and we'll scroll down, and here you can see that we have received the question. Do you agree to receive the document via email for electronic signature? So I want to select this as label. If I will receive yes, then only I want to continue the workflow, otherwise not. So here I have selected the label, the filter type will be equal to, and I'm going to select the value as yes. If the client is agreeing for receiving the document, then only I want to continue the workflow, otherwise not. Over here you can see I have selected the label from my previous response. That means I have mapped this label. When we insert a data like this from our previous step, it becomes dynamic, and that is called as mapping. Okay, so when we map a data, it is going to replace automatically with each and every new response. This means when we have mapped the label over here, now whenever a new form will be submitted by a new client in Google Forms, then automatically the data which we have mapped over here is going to replace with that new response. And over here, because we have entered the value manually, so it has become static and it is not going to replace. So now if the response which we have received will not be equal to yes, then we do not want to continue the workflow. So the workflow will get stopped over here. But if the response will be equal to yes, then the workflow will continue further automatically. Okay, let's check whether the condition is true or no. We'll click on save and send test request button. And here the condition is absolutely true. So we'll move forward. Now what we have to do, because the condition is true and the client is agreeing for receiving the document for signature, we have to send the document to the client. So for that, we have to set up the connection between FlexiSign and Pabbly Connect. So let's click on this add action step button. Our action application over here will be FlexiSign. Let's select that. Then we have to select the action event. So our action event will be create document. Let's click on connect. Now we have to set up the connection. So here for building the connection, I'm going to go towards add new connection. And in order to build the new connection, we have to provide an API key. So how we are going to get this key? For that, the instructions are given. You just need to log into your FlexiSign account. Then you need to visit towards the integration section. And then you have to find the API key under FlexiSign API section. So what I will do, I will take you towards my FlexiSign account. I have already logged into that. And you can see from the top, we have the option of integrations. Let's select that. Over here, when you will scroll down, here we have the option of FlexiSign API. We have to go towards manage API keys option, and from here you have to find out your API key. So I will simply click on copy. I will move back towards Pabbly Connect and I will paste the key over here. In this way you need to find out your API key. Then we'll simply click on save and our FlexiSign account will get connected with Pabbly Connect. As we have done that, we'll move forward towards entering the details over here. So first of all, it is asking us a template ID. You need to select the particular template over here from the drop down. But in my case, I only have one template, that is proposal, which I want to send to the clients. So I have selected that already. Then we have to enter the message which we have to send along with the mail, because we are basically going to send an email to the clients through FlexiSign along with this document for e-signature. So it should contain a message. Okay, so I'm going to enter the message over here. So I've entered the message: dear, thank you for choosing Prime Properties to assist you in finding the perfect property. Prime Property is the name of my real estate agency. Attached, you will find your personalized property proposal based on the preferences you provided. We are confident that these options will meet your expectations and help you find a property that suits your need. Your signature will confirm your interest and allow us to move forward with the next steps, including scheduling viewings, negotiations, and finalizing the purchase of rental process. If you have any questions or need further assistance, feel free to reach out to us at support@pabblytudes.com. gmail.com, and here we have the further message. Okay, so I've typed the message over here. Now in order to make it personalized, what I will do, I will simply enter the name of the client. But because we are automating the entire process, we are not going to change this name every time. What we will do, we will simply map the name. Here in the response, we have already received the name of the person. Let's quickly map that, and done. In this way, we are going to automate the entire process because we have mapped this data, and because we have mapped this name, now it is going to replace automatically. As I have told you, when we map a data, it becomes dynamic. So it is going to replace with each and every new response. That means now whenever a new client is going to submit the form for their interest, then automatically the name which we have mapped over here is going to replace with the new name of the new client. Now we'll move forward. Then here we have the recipient email address. So on which email address you want to send this email. So I will simply map the email address of the client, and here it is asking us the recipient name. So I will simply map that name as well. Alright, as we have done that, we will simply click on save and send test request button. And you can see that here, yes, we have received the response. In this response, here we have the status as success. That means the document is successfully sent to the client for the signature. Here we have all the details as well, you can see. So now I'm going to take you towards the email address which we have mapped over here so that we can check whether the email is received with the document or no. And yes, here we can see that the response is received. Here we have the email for the signature request. So I'm going to open this email. Here we can see that the document is given which the person can review and sign. Okay, and with the help of FlexiSign, the client will be able to very easily do the e-signature. So here in this particular document, you can see we have received the same email, okay, which we have entered as the email body. The name is also given over here and all other details. So this means that our connection between Google Forms and FlexiSign is absolutely successful. So let's quickly summarize what we have done in this workflow. We have taken very simple steps: trigger and action. In trigger, we have taken Google Forms, and in action, we have taken FlexiSign. And we have also applied filter so that only when the condition will be fulfilled, which we want, then only the document will be sent to the client, otherwise not. So once we have set up the connection, now whenever a new response will be received through Google Forms, that means whenever a new client is going to submit the form for getting the proposal, then automatically the proposal for the real estate agency will be sent to that same client for e-signature request with the help of FlexiSign. So in a similar manner, you can also very easily create this amazing automation for your own requirements. Here I've just taken the example of real estate agency. Okay. So with the help of FlexiSign, you can create multiple customized template documents for sending them to your clients, customers, or your employees for e-signatures. I hope this video is helpful for you. Thank you for watching. Not only these applications, but you can integrate multiple such applications without any coding or programming skills with the help of Pabbly Connect. Now, if you have any doubt, you can reach out to us at support@pabbly.com. If you want to ask any query, you can reach out to us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issue, you can reach out to the website given over here. Now, if you find this video helpful, do not forget to share it with your friends. And also, please like our video and subscribe our channel for more such amazing automations.